Whew, wow. Let's just say I was really surprised after watching that movie. Hello, all my fellow knights, Vikings, Samurai, Roland. It is Nebula here, and today, yes, one thing I will say is I know it has been a while since my voice has been put up in a video on this channel before. Let me just clarify though. Um, I have been a bit busy with most things, and I haven't really been doing too many videos that relate to me actually speaking, more or less. They've just been iMovie things. But now that Jet to the Rescue has officially been seen by me and is coming up on its release, it's actually past its release date in cinemas, what I'm going to say right now is I really enjoyed it. It was a real, it definitely was a breath of fresh air, is what I should say. Because it was like, it was the, I've been saying this for a while, it's basically the movie I think that basically the like creators and stuff have been thinking, this is our request, this is what we've wanted to see for so long. And when I say that, I mean we got, it's finally a different villain, as it wasn't a, what do you call it, a humdinger relative. We got all 8 pups in the movie, Tracker Nevers included. And this isn't necessarily a request as such from a lot of people, but I was one of those people. We actually got to see Sweetie help out instead of just being a normal bad side the full time. And to be honest with you, I'm actually really happy with the way it went. It was definitely a step in the right direction. And I'm actually going to talk about. Here's my verdict. On a scale of 1 to 10, I will give you my number, but here's what I'll say first. It was definitely a good watch. I mean, you start off all of a sudden in Barkingburg, and while it was a little unclear about why they were in Barkingburg in the first place, why they needed to bring Everest and Tracker along, it's like one of those things that was never elaborated, never expanded on, but then again, logic is never really applied that much. And then it just goes straight into the action. You get message, and it's a Star Wars reference. So it was literally a Star Wars reference. There's no denying it. It's not just what she says, but it's also the bend over bit at the start. Like it looks like she's putting something in like a disc in something. Yeah, that's basically the pose Leia was in when she sent the message to Luke, which I thought was really clever. And while most people would just say it's the line, it's also the pose that she's in that is the reference in itself. And it got going really quickly. It definitely was a really good thing to watch, to be honest with you. And I do have to thank Shadow, one of the Discord um, moderators, and well, not moderators. Sorry, I think he's a moderator, but one of the people who actually streamed Jet to the Rescue on Discord. I have to thank him for that. And while there was a rocky start, almost everything has a rocky start, so I wasn't even bothered because, to be fair, he tried, and in the end, we all got to see it. We really enjoyed it, I'm pretty sure. Moving on from that, we see Sweetie being her normal, I don't want to say devious self, but her sort of self that's like, normal, and I'll be attempting to put clips up, in between all this in edits, to see if it'll work because I'm not, but I don't know if it'll get copyrighted because I'll keep the sound off, so it might not, but if it does, I'll see about something else. In any case, and then we, of course, that's just the pups arrive, and then we get introduced to the Duke, and it's like I thought. It's straight away we meet the Duke's pet eagle, Jean Claude. And as far as we can tell, yeah, I was right, Sky. It starts off with Sky's fear, pretty much, and that's what the whole movie was pretty much about. Her conquering her fear of eagles, which it could have, I'll admit, it was a little dull compared to Marshall stepping up to the plate and Chase learning to lead on his own. Just her literal fear just put into a movie. And to be honest with you, I think they could have maybe done a bit better job in terms of the plot for that. But then again, it's just the way I seen it. And a whole bunch of stuff happens then, as we've seen, they get captured. Sky and Everest and Tracker tried to get the gems back from the Duke, which obviously um, give them the power of levitation, and before all that, Sweetie is obviously agreeing to help him, but obviously the Duke betrays her, just because Sky tries to get her to help him, but she says, I don't only help myself, and then she just leaves. And it's like I thought, the bit where you see Sky look like she's pleading to someone, she is actually talking to Sweetie, so I'm actually quite happy that Everything went okay, and a bunch of action happens in the meantime. We find out that Sweetie actually gets her own gear and actually decides to help out. She basically runs in front of the beam to stop it from getting the castle, and I kind of like how she actually laughs at the end of that as well, just like sort of, haha, you lost this. Quite a little clever thing. And then, in case you didn't know, the reason why she did actually help is because she heard the princess screaming, and that was sort of a. It actually shows she does actually care about the princess. It was a nice little touch compared to she just doesn't like her at all. I mean, it was a real nice change than just, I don't know, let's just put her as a villain. Anyways, moving on from that, a bunch of stuff happens in the end. Sky conquers her fear, like almost all those movies have a good ending, and obviously near the end we see Sweetie try to steal the gem again, but I mean, that's just classical. And then, right at the end of it, the special present that the pups give the princess, which Sweetie actually joins in with, which I was really surprised with, is basically just an air show thing. So, I mean, I was kind of right, except the air show was more just as the ending, not the full plot of the movie. But now, here's my next death. That's just sort of how it ended, and my verdict is a 8 out of 10. Not completely perfect because obviously the 2 points that make it so that it's not completely 10 out of 10 is definitely the fact that A, it was just Sky's Fear that was the side plot of the movie, and B, it just felt a little bit. It was interesting nonetheless. It's just they didn't really clarify a couple things, at least in Ready Race Rescue and Mighty Pups they did, but in terms of how Sweet got back to the bunker to actually get her own gear, why the pups were in Barkingburg in the first place, and why Everest and Tracker were with them. There was nothing much really explained. But now I'm going to move on to the last thing is, and the question that you've probably seen the title is, do I think Sweetie could return being good again? Now, I'll say this much, I actually think she could, because, let's just say this, we know she didn't join the pups fully, we understand that, and I'm pretty sure everyone does. But what we do know is that right at the end she does join in the air show, which I've already mentioned, and she did jump in front of the castle beam thing to sort of save the princess, and it's not just that, but she actually also warned Sky, which showed a sense of care about wanting to stop the Duke, and that's why I'm thinking, is it possible they could bring the Duke back to do other things, and then have Sweetie return as a villain? Not a villain, sorry, as a good pup? I mean, that would be absolutely brilliant, and I would love it if they did. Let's just say I won't say it's what will happen, but it's a possible idea. Alright, but anyways, that's all for now. Please do leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And this is Nebula out. Oh, and by the way, thank you for 600 subs. We're almost at 700, so if we could hit that goal within the next few weeks, I would really appreciate it. But anyways, that's all. Bye.